Inspirational Gathering here for the Center for Spiritual Living, Southern Nevada. We're grateful that you're here and joining us in this inspirational hour and plus. And I'd like to ask if anybody here for the first time. Everybody's joined us. Excellent. You are not here for the first time. If you're here for the first time online, we welcome you. And we ask you to sit back and maybe turn off any distractions, your cell phones, dim the lights, whatever you need to do to just absorb the love that we're given here. And by being in person, we want to make sure that we continue to honor health and wellness. So as much as we love to hug each other, we just ask that you kind of make sure that it's all right with the other person before you do so. And there are other ways than hugging to show your affection, high fives, fist pumps, and the like. So yes, enjoy yourself and please stay safe. As I said, this is our TLC gathering. TLC is our mission and vision, which is teach the principles, live the love, and change the world. For a full experience, again, we ask that you just join us and bring in the family, dim the lights, and get ready. We have some empowering discussion today. We have our beautiful music, our musical director by Donnie Lee, who will be joining us in a moment. And at this moment, I'm going to ask, we're going to kick this off with affirmative prayer. So I'm going to pray in the first person. I ask you to join me however you'd like to be comfortable. I'm going to go ahead and close my eyes. I'm going to ask you, if you would, to join me in a collective breath. And recognizing in this perfect divine moment, I just choose another breath and I center. Center in this infinite nowness of love, of joy, that is expressing in, through, and as this perfect reality I call life. It is expressing perfectly, and it is who I am. I am that love, that joy, that laughter. I feel it with this next breath. And I receive the TLC, knowing that the spiritual truth shows the way, that love lights the way, and that is what changes the world. I'm so grateful for this now moment at this center as we are able to share what we know. We come together online and in person, knowing that it is happening perfectly, that each one hears this voice, whether it's now or through a recording, receives exactly what they need to hear, that goes through their ears and lights up their soul, lights up their mind, and brings them to a new level of positive, loving awareness. That is what this moment is about. The recognition that that love and that joy is already here in its fullness, and we simply just say yes to that. Yes to it. Yes to the music. Yes to the volunteers. Yes to the speakers. Yes. I know this is the truth. I declare it so, and I ask you to join me together affirming it by saying, and so it is. Thank you once again. It is now my privilege, I felt like Elmer J. Flood, privilege to welcome practitioner and ministerial student Rachel Dilling. And you need a microphone.
Thank you, Joe. So now let's get this energy up. Let's remember where we're at and what we're doing and why we're here. So let's release all that's happened today, release all of the stress and the anxiety and the fear, and know that right here and right now we are in the Spirit, and we are going to feel the Spirit through our raise and praise, because Mr. Donnie Lee, who is our music director, is going to bring us up. So let's enjoy by raise and praise.
There was a time in my life, thought I had to do it all by myself. I didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. I didn't know the love of God was at hand. But now, if you are discouraged, struggling just to make day. You got to let it all go. Let it go. And this is what I have to say. Come on and put your hands together. Oh, listen, we like to sing this song our way, and it goes like this. Say, I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. When my heart is open wide, yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. Yes, I'm free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here. Sing this, say, I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. When my heart is open wide, yes, I'm only here for God. Oh, no more struggle, no more struggle. No, faith I see the light. Yes, I'm free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for say, I will let go. I will let go. Say, I will let go. Say, I will let go. I've got to be free. I will let go. I will let go. I will let go. There are some things weighing me down. I will let go. But I will let go. Oh, I'll release and let go. I'll release and let go. I will. Yes, I will. Release. I'm only here for God. Release. Let go. Release. Let go. Release. Let go. Release. Oh, I will let go. Say, I will let go. I'm moving forward from this place in life. And I won't let nothing hold me back. I will let go of everything not serving me. Oh, release and let go. Release and let go. Release and let go. Release. Oh, release. I know it's hard sometimes, but you lay it down and let go. Release, 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 oh, release. I release and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life. When my heart is open wide. Oh, yes, I'm only here for God. Yes, yes, yes. We're going to keep raising the praise with this next song because we want to be free. After we release and let go, there should be a feeling of freedom, a new energy, a new sensation that overtakes us. Come on and clap your hands. Oh, listen. I want to clap a little louder than before. Come on, clap your hands. I want to sing my song louder than before. I want to spin wilder than before. I want to shout louder than before. Oh, I want to feel joy more than before. I want to love deeper than before. Somebody shout louder. Oh, somebody say freedom, freedom. Somebody say freedom, freedom, freedom. Lift your voice and say freedom. I want to be free. Say free. Yes, I gotta be free. Oh. Listen, the next part goes like this. It says, no more shackles, no more chains, no more bondage. I am free. Yes. If you believe it, shake your hand like this and say, no more shackles, no more chains, no more bondage. I am free. Yeah. If you believe it, sing it again and say, no. I am free. Yeah. Lift your voice and sing it. No more shackles. No more chains. Oh. I am free. Oh yeah. Now lift your voice and help me say freedom, freedom, freedom. Say freedom.
Hello, that was awesome, Donnie. Thank you. I am definitely raising my praise. It is time for our announcements. And let's start out with making sure that we're recognizing that we're uplifting ourselves and that we're starting our day with some powerful spiritual practices. So, are you feeling uplifted each morning? If not, then maybe you can join us on our Facebook page with our morning mindset in minutes. This happens every Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. And again, it's on the Center's Facebook page. So please join us for this live event. Do you love spiritual dialogue? Well then, join us on Thursday evenings, every Thursday evening, for our Power Hour between 6:30 and 7:30, where we have open discussions, and we are just beginning a new discussion on the book, The 4 Spiritual Laws of Prosperity by Edwin Gaines. I said that right. This is a great book. If you haven't got it yet, that's okay. There's plenty of time. You could buy it on Amazon. It is an absolute spiritual, with a foundational spiritual book on prosperity and the laws of prosperity. It's a wonderful book, and I'm going to say that it's going to be easily and effortlessly a beautiful conversation, recognizing that everywhere we go and everything we do, that prosperity and abundance is there. It's already flowing, and this book helps us get in touch with that. So again, Thursdays from 6:30 to 7:30. Again, you can purchase your book online at Amazon. And if you have, remember that, TLC June. Smile points. 22. Right. So our next gathering is what I'm trying to say is happening 1 month from now in person or online, and that's okay. June 22nd at the same time to start today, 6:10. So please join us that again here at the Las Vegas Center for Spiritual Living in person. If you're not sure about what I'm saying, how do I get this information, Reverend Joe? Well, then you need to simply visit our website. That's cslsn.org. And you can sign up for our newsletter, as we like to call it, our e-blasts. And that'll keep you in touch with any new classes, any events, again, like the next center. Maybe you forget what I say. You can go and check online. Or, again, it will simply be emailed to you weekly. We don't overblast the situation. We just let you know what you need to know when you need to know it. If you have any questions, we simply ask you to call our center anytime. And that number, I believe it's on the screen. Yep, 485-5050. So also by signing up, you're just staying connected to us. And we're continuing to expand our spiritual community. This, as we say, the TLC, to teach the principles, live the love, change the world. And if you want to be a part of that, stay in touch with us, whether it is streaming at home through Facebook or YouTube, or coming to see us in person. We are excited. So now back to our perfect Donnie Lee for some more inspiring music. Thank you.
Sometimes we all need to be reminded of our true nature. For life's turns can often cause us to forget. So this song is for anyone who needs a little reminder. I'm here to remind you of your magnificence, to help you awaken to the wonder that you are. I'm here to show you all the joy you're worthy of. I'm here to remind you that you're truly loved. I'm here to remind you of your magnificence, to help you awaken to the wonder that you are. I'm here to show you all the joy you're worthy of. I'm here to remind you that you're truly loved. I'm here to show you all the joy you're worthy of. I'm here to remind you that you're truly loved. So now just take a moment and turn to someone next to you, whether you're here in this sanctuary at home. And if you're home alone, you can always look in the mirror. And I just want you to say, I'm here to remind you that you're truly loved. All right, that's it. I'm here to remind you that you're truly loved. Sing that to someone next to you. Say, yes, I'm here to remind you that you're truly loved. Tell somebody else, yes, I'm here to remind you that you're truly loved. Oh, I'm here to show you all the joy you're worthy of. I'm here to remind you that you're truly loved.
Good evening, everyone. I am Reverend Benicia Mills Lefroy. So good to see your faces. Yes, yes, yes. So we have something special for you this evening. And before I share that, I'm going to first share with you our yearly theme, which is Living Like Spirit is My Source. Living like Spirit is my source. And this is important for us to remember because there is only one source. So for this special thing that we're having, it is a panel. As you can see, we have our panel right here, live in action. And I'll introduce them in just a moment. But this is a panel discussion, and we're actually inviting you in the audience to also participate by using the note cards that we have. You can write down a brief comment, or you can write down a question. And then our lovely technician, Yvonne, is going to read that to me, and then I will repeat it out loud for everyone to hear. And then in addition to this, we're inviting you love streamers as well to participate by writing your brief comments as well as any question that may come up for you as a result of hearing the panelists or something maybe you've been wondering about for a while. And you can do that in the comments section on your platform. So we invite you to do that. So let's have a lively discussion. We've got some great minds up here. And the first one is Rachel Dilling. She is one of our practitioners and a ministerial student. And then we also have a brand new minister, aren't we lucky? Reverend Joe Kovach. And then we also have our practitioner and elder, Juan McAllister. So let's welcome them, please. Please, please. Very good. Nice, very nice. Thank you so much. And so I'm going to repeat the question again. I'll repeat the question for the first time, actually. How do I use science of mind to deal with life? How do I use science of mind to deal with life? And I would love for Rachel to start with that question.
I can do that. So how do I use science of mind to deal with life? You know, life can be messy and stressful and demanding and a whirlwind sometimes. And I think through spiritual practices and remembering who is my source, what is my source, is all that science of mind practice. So praying is one of those things that I do continuously, doing affirmative prayer, to remind myself of who I really am and what is the real purpose of me being here. To step outside of the freak out and remember that God is my source. And then to remember that we're here to enjoy, and that joy is one of those key things. So if I'm not enjoying it, then I need to shift something inside, because as the science of mind simple teaches us, we have our thoughts that get planted into the law that then come out as our results. And if I'm planting the wrong seeds in the soil, I'm getting the results I don't necessarily want. So maybe I need to shift what I'm thinking in order to get different results. So it's a powerful practice when you're in the midst of the anxiety to stop, to pause, to breathe, and to reframe life.
Thank you for that. And that reminds me, Reverend Marquis is always reminding us to take a breath, to pause before we respond to people or to life. So thank you for that. That's a great spiritual practice as well. And I'd love to hear from Reverend Joe now.
Thank you. I choose as well the spiritual practices right from the moment I wake up, and because this philosophy has taught me that that's when I win my day. So instead of waking up and being a victim of the circumstances, I choose to take control. And the first thing I do is I read the daily article in the Science of Mind magazine. If you don't have that, it's the best money you could buy. And then after that, I do about 15 to 20 minutes of silent meditation, sometimes with just some music playing in the background. And then my prayer partner here, Juan, we get on a call and we pray each other up, affirming the spiritual truth. And then I go about my day, and even through the day, I do several checks on myself of how I'm feeling, and am I in that, I'm going to say, joyful feeling or not. And if not, then I do a simple affirmation or a mantra to shift back into that. Because, as we're wandering through the day, it's very easy to get caught up in circumstance. And so this philosophy is excellent to keep us focused on what's most important for us, because we know that which we think about, we bring about. And I want to make sure I'm bringing the best for myself, but also through myself for everyone that I happen to deal with that day.
Thank you for that. All right, a reminder of how, when we take care of ourselves, then we can interact with others better.
Absolutely.
That's for sure. That's what it's about, relationships. And yes, Mr. Juan.
Well, continuing, I agree with all that's been said thus far, but one of the points that strikes me is when I got involved in science of mind, religious science, it was very much becoming convinced and operating from the position of that my mind sets my days, sets my world, creates for me everything that I desire, and I control that. And I use the principles of science of mind for that purpose, in using meditation, using prayer, and just reminding myself on a daily basis that God is all there is, and that whatever is happening is God in action. And it may not look like that, but it is in fact God in action. And just accept that point and turn my attention to what I want. And one of my favorite sayings is, choose what you want, choose what you get, and choose again. Just keep choosing and keep moving forward.
Thank you for that, Practitioner Juan. Yes, we are always at choice, and I like that. And whatever's happening in that moment, you get to re-choose again. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. All right, now do we have any questions or comments from our audience? Yes, we do. Thank you so much, Jessica. All right. So, what are the core concepts of science of mind, and how do you incorporate those in your life? What are the core concepts of science of mind, and how do you incorporate those in your life? Now, I'm just going to say this right now. You probably don't have all those memorized.
That's about
Because
10
we
talks.
have, right, and we have, there's a lot of them, that's right. And we have a resource to go to. And our website will give you some of these, as well as our main organization, which is csl.org. So I would invite you to do that. But I'm going to ask that you tackle the question to the best of your ability.
I wasn't going to tackle the question because that's like huge.
It is.
However, there is a statement, it's called We Believe, and the We Believe statement lays it out, boom, boom, boom. You can get on the website, you can also, I believe it's in the Science of Mind book.
Yes.
So you can look it up in the Science of Mind workbook. That's the really big one that we study, and it lays it out. Ernest Holmes was very clear. I know that one that comes to my mind is we believe in the healing as well as the creating of our circumstance through our mind. We also believe that, that one escapes what he said apparently. So let me focus on the one that did come to mind. And that is the healing power that we have. And there's so much evidence, if you go into studies that have been done in science that show that what you believe, we all call it the placebo effect, right?
Yes.
And the placebo factor, we normally look at that because we're taught in the science world, well, that one doesn't count. Well, what do you think the placebo factor is? But the belief of the mind in healing. And so where we put feeling and emotion onto something, and then we have belief behind it, we create that in our lives. Now, consciousness is complicated. And so I'm not saying if you get in a car accident, you created that car accident, because consciousness is complicated. However, what I do know is that where you have feeling and you have belief, you have results.
Very true. Very, very true. Thank you for that.
That was well summed up.
Yes.
I don't know if I can do better. I'll try though, if I may. Did you want to go first? You look like you're ready.
No, I'll let you go.
Okay.
Such a gentleman.
So I do agree that the We Believe principles, make sure there's more than one. I believe there's 10 or 11. I think there's 10.
That is true.
And they simply state what our founder Ernest Holmes' philosophy is. The first, which is to me the most powerful, that there is only one inexhaustible, all-loving source that we call God. And he leaves it open if that word God tends to not rub you in the right way. Source, infinite life, nature, whatever feels good to you. And one of the ones that always stands out for me is that we create our own state of heaven here on earth. That is up to us. And that's up to us because it's technically already here is what we believe, and it's only our awareness of that, and we can only receive it to the amount of awareness of where we're at, and that this philosophy will help us remove the barriers, the self-caused, if that's a word, barriers, the ones that we create, to open up and allow that heaven and to live that heaven and to be that heaven. And that always gets me jazzed up. So that sums it up for me.
That's obvious. You're very jazzed, right?
Jazz.
Thank you, Joe.
And now from our elder.
That's you, Juan.
And I agree with all that's been said thus far. But this whole notion of it's done unto you as you believe is just the most important one from my perspective. Because again, it's your mind that creates everything, that generates everything, that is either going to create the good stuff as we want to term it, or the not so good stuff. And in reality, it's all good, it's all perfect, it's all complete. And we just move through that and live from that perspective.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you for that reminder. I'm going to add one more thing, and that is oneness. We absolutely believe in the concept of oneness, and I know that we're challenged sometimes by that. We might believe it up in the brain, but it doesn't always come out in our behavior. And so that's what it's about. It's about learning how to really live from the belief of oneness and show up in your world in such amazing ways. And then we get to shift that energy in this world by doing that. So that's what I'd like to add. Now we have another question from our in-person audience. How do you let go of beliefs that are a part of your foundation prior to science of mind? So I'm going to phrase it this way. How did you let go of beliefs that are a part of your foundation prior to science of mind? I think we're always in that process, aren't we?
What's coming to my head is practice. Practice, practice, practice. I still find my work mind, sometimes I'll get right into it and go, wait a minute, I don't believe that anymore, stop it. So it's practice. Thank you for the question, whoever.
That's a great question.
It's a good question.
It's great, but no name.
And I think it's also being alert to what's going on with you. And that's where meditation for me comes in handy. That just continually seeking out, how do I believe, what do I believe, and what am I getting in as a return from that? And if it's not what I choose, then I just come right back to the principles again and start applying them. Affirmations work well in supporting that also.
You know, Juan, listening to you and Joe and Rachel as well, what it reminds me of is the opportunity to reflect. We're so busy, busy, busy. But in order to do what they have just each said, we have to pause. We have to be with ourselves. We have to ask ourselves the questions. We have to be more conscious of what we're doing. I invite you to really ask yourself, am I ready to be aware? And if the answer is yes, your awareness of yourself will start to grow. So,
Can I answer that one, please?
sure.
Thank you. Especially, I know there's always new people joining us. And for me, it's following that desire to want to do just that, to live a freer, fuller, more expanded life, and just continue to tell yourself you're doing that, and then follow your heart, your instinct, which is the divine in you, leading you to the best and the highest way for you to do that. And when people look at me and say, how have you changed? It's never one thing. It's literally those tiny little things that we do, those decisions each and every day that we eventually become committed to because it feels so good to overcome limiting beliefs that you just then, it just becomes natural, a part of your life. So maybe all of a sudden you get the drive to join a class. Education is always important. Or to do something even simpler, buy the Science of Mind magazine and start reading that once a day. And then some of the best spiritual advice I ever received, which was from our own spiritual leader, Reverend Marquita, was don't make yourself wrong. Wherever you're at, you are where you are. That's perfect, or else you'd be somewhere else. So just accept where you're at and allow that desire to push you forward.
Very true. Thank you for that. I'm going to do a time check because we may not have each person answer. We're fine. Okay, great. Thank you for that. We've got some more good questions here. What types of meditation techniques have you used and what has been the most beneficial? What types of meditation techniques have you used and which ones has been most beneficial?
I guess I'll start. Thank you for the question, whoever that came from. There are so many meditations out there. So there's walking meditations, there's flame meditations, there's color meditations, there's yoga meditation, there's music meditations, guided meditations. I personally like quiet meditation. So my practice typically is, I'll do yoga for about 45 minutes, and then I sit cross-legged, quiet. And the Buddhas have a stance, which I've adapted, so I'm going to hold that for me. So if you take your two hands and you cup this hand in this hand, this is compassion and this is wisdom, and you hold them together and you touch your thumbs. Now, the beautiful thing about touching your thumbs is that when you start falling asleep, the thumbs don't touch anymore. So you keep focused on those thumbs, and it keeps you focused on what you're doing. It also reminds me that it's about compassion and wisdom. So that's my favorite, and I do that probably, probably once a day. And time frame, they say, the studies say that 15 to 20 minutes a day, twice a day, is what starts changing the hardwiring of your brain. However, if you can go past that 45 minutes, it goes beyond just the wiring. It goes into this connection. It's almost magical. I don't know how else to describe it.
Spirit.
It's spirit. Thank you, Joe. Mr. Reverend Joe. Thank you. It's spirit. So that's my favorite.
Oh man, honestly, for I was so hyper at the beginning of this. My story is literally, I had a coach ask me to meditate, and I said, "There's no way I could do that. I can't sit still." And he said, "Well, how long can you meditate? How long do you think you can meditate?" And sarcastically, I said 2 minutes, and his reply was, "Then start with 2 minutes." And I was like, "Oh," because in my head, I had a belief that I was too hyper to do that. And the truth is, by the third day, I easily meditated 15 minutes and didn't even know where the time went. And I felt my body literally, I don't know if I felt like I was levitating, but my soul went, like it was literally down. And that's when it all came to me, was like, I've been living this persona of who I used to be, and that was holding me back. And my body did want to slow down. Now that being said, I meditate walking, listening to music. It could just be a good song, and it just takes me there. All sorts of music. There's labyrinth walking. I know we have somebody in the audience here that loves walking labyrinths, which is kind of like a maze. It's a mindful walk. I can walk to the park. So honestly, doing what you love to do, that puts you in that place where it's just, in a sense, you and God, that's perfect. And you're just allowing that communion to happen, especially when you're in that state of joy. There's no better way. If you feel like you're forcing yourself, I would say don't do it. You're not ready yet. And that's okay. Don't make yourself wrong.
Very true. Thank you for reminding people of that. Yes, Swan.
For me, it's a combination of guided meditation and then silence, with silence kind of being the capstone of all that I go through. But it's a matter of letting the guided meditation set the stage and then move very gently into a silence where I'm just listening. And listening becomes very important. When I started out, I kept thinking, okay, when's something going to happen? And it's like pulling the plant up and looking to see if it's growing. It can't really do that. So it became important for me to just start to settle down, get out of the state of expectancy. And for me, those of you who know me, you know that that's a major accomplishment for me. So I'm always wanting to know, well, what's going to happen next? And just recognize that meditation is a process of communing with myself, communing with the God in me, and just slowing down and letting it flow.
Yes, slowing it down.
Can I say one more thing, if I don't mind? Again, for the new people, it's not about trying to stop your thoughts. You're never going to do that. It's about just allowing things to come in and out, meaning you don't attach to a thought. There's several times I'm in a good meditation and all of a sudden I'm thinking about what I want for lunch. I'm like, how did I get there? Just let it go. That's okay. And don't make it wrong. Or a noise kicks in, the dog starts barking next door. That's okay. Just be. That's all you have to do. You're not going to stop thought. And like he was saying in the beginning, I had that expectation of like, okay, I'm going to do this.
I did too.
I'm going to like a workout. No, you're just being. And it takes a little while, but you'll feel it.
Another technique is counting. So you count your breath, because again, I don't think we can stop our thought. The mind is created to think. And so what I do is I give it something to think about. And so I assign it. You're now in charge of counting. And you count in, and you count out. And you count in, and you count out.
Absolutely. And breath with that works as well. The other thing that I invite you to do is check out chanting. I remember the first time I was introduced to it, I fell in love. It is one of the most wonderful things in the whole world because it vibrates through your entire body. So I invite you to do that. And then we have so many different types of meditations now. We forgot about the original one. And that's one that people started with years and years ago. And so I invite you to do that as well. Bottom line is play with it. What was that, Joe?
Sorry, drum circles.
And drum circles. You can meditate in that. Play with it. Play with it, play with it, play with it. And I know some people believe you do one and stick with it forever or stick with it a long time. That doesn't work for me. I'll do one for a while and then I'll find myself doing something else. So I invite you, have fun with it. Try a different one. Try different people. And I'm going to tell you, YouTube is good. YouTube is good. With meditations, yes, you can find all kinds of wonderful people. Joe Dispenza is one. You have the other names for people?
Honestly, if you just search, there's a slew.
That's true.
There's binary beats, which plays off the vibrations of your mind, and so yeah, try it out. Have fun.
Absolutely. And let's see. I think that's it. Anyone have anything else about meditation? I do have one last thing. Like Joe said, if you're not ready, then do silence. Silence is actually my #1 spiritual practice. Do silence. So,
And that silence can be a walk, that silence can be yoga, that silence can be doing something, but don't watch TV or read a book. That doesn't count as silence.
That's not silence, no. Thank you for reminding us of that. Yeah, no, that's not. Okay, so we have one more question, and it is, what advice could you give someone new to this philosophy? What advice could you give someone new to this philosophy to help them grow and recognize their oneness? Someone came back to that. I love it. So what advice could you give someone new to this philosophy to help them grow and recognize their oneness?
Well, the first thing that comes to mind is don't push it. Let it be. And take your time and listen. Because so often what the world tells us is you got to make it happen. You got to get up and you got to do something. Well, doing something can be doing nothing. And just being aware of that nothingness and letting that nothingness guide you just very gently, very slowly into taking action on what is appropriate for you.
My mind's all over the place.
You want to go, Yumi?
No, you go, please.
So 2 things popped into my head. One is our teaching symbol, and one is be, do, have. So I'll tell you what be, do, have means first. So in our culture, it's all about, just like Juan was saying, it's about doing to have so I can be. I'm going to work hard so I can have lots of money so I can be happy. But the reality is that's not how this universe works. We have to be happy first, then do the work, and then you'll have what you want. But we get it all confused in our head. So be, do, have, I wrote it on my mirror, so I remember. I wrote it on paper and pads, so I remember. Because the beingness is the important part, not the doingness. Not that doing isn't important. Absolutely. Treat, move your feet, right? That's what do we call it?
That's jargon.
That's jargon, so never mind that. Thank you.
What does it mean?
What is it? That's a good point. Treat, move your feet. So in the science of mind, we believe in spiritual mind treatments. We call it prayer. But it looks a little different than what we would say traditional prayer is, because it has to do with the connecting with the source, the uniting the source with me, and then declaring what it is that I want in a positive, affirmative way. Present, thank you, present. And then it's gratitude for whatever it is that I want, and then I release it into that universal energy to know, and know that it's going to happen because I declared it. I don't have time to talk about the teaching symbols, so do you want to do that?
No.
Okay, do something else then.
What would you like to do, Joe?
No, well, I just want to, what keeps coming back to me, for me, the way I feel oneness is I go into nature and I just be. Like I give myself that time, so I'm not rushed, I have to be somewhere, and it doesn't happen often, but when I do, I release everything else, and then we're just present with life. And so you hear and experience the water differently, trees differently, you know, it's, I don't know, it's ineffable. You can't explain it, but that, when I feel that, and then I just amplify that to everyone and everything. But sometimes it's hard when we're, you know, our minds are so convoluted with everything else, the doing and the needing to do this and that. Take time once a week even, and even if it's in a backyard here in the desert, just go on nature, put your feet on the grass, hopefully you have real grass still. Any way you can do it, and just let it go. Just let it go, give yourself that time. I think that's the most, for somebody brand new, that'll work.
Learn how to be.
Be, do-be-do.
Do-be-do.
Be-do-be.
And well, you two are having fun. We're going to listen to Reverend to practice.
Oh, you got a promotion in.
I got the road
Going again, yeah.
He started it.
That's right. Thank you for that. So, for me, for oneness, it is an opportunity for you to truly do some, what I would call, refer to Louise Hayes, to do some mirror work.
Mhm.
And to look in your eyes and say to yourself that I am one with, and whatever it is that you're challenged by, I invite you to end it with that. I am one with. Because a lot of times we're in resistance to things, when we need to just, as many of you have said up here, just be with it. Just be with it and understand ourselves in a much broader way that we're connected to everything, even the things that we dislike. We're connected to it, whether we want to own it or not. So it's an opportunity to own it, be gentle with yourself while you're doing it. And mirror work is really, really powerful, so I would invite you to do that. And we have how many minutes left? Okay. We're going to end now. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You're a delightful host. Thank you.
You're welcome. And thank you for everyone who wrote questions. And I would like to also end this segment with a quote. And the quote is, practicing loving kindness toward ourselves and others is as good a way as any start to illuminating the darkness of difficult times. I'm going to say that one more time. I invite you to close your eyes and just really hear it, really embrace it. Practicing loving kindness toward ourselves and others is as good a way as any start to illuminating the darkness of difficult times. And this is by Pema Chodron, and she is they consider her a monk nun. Invite you to look her up. Her name is Pema Chodron. She's quite fascinating. And now we're going to move into some music. Or actually, we're going to move into our meditation, which will involve some music as well. And so I'm going to invite you to close your eyes. And just focus on your breath. And remember, you are one with this breath. Just simply focus on it. And we're going to engage in some mindful breathing. We'll do 6 inhalations and exhalations, very deep ones. And then we will do what I mentioned earlier, a mindful breathing meditation. And that will be about 5 minutes. And then that will just a short guided meditation at the end of that. And then music, and then silence. So I invite you to close your eyes if you have not done so yet. And let us take these 6 cleansing breaths. So breathe in deeply and exhale. And breathe in again and exhale. And breathe in again and exhale. And breathe in again and exhale. And our last one, breathe in and exhale. And just focus on your regular breathing again. And I'm going to share with you a phrase in terms of inhaling. And then that will be followed by holding your breath and then exhaling after I indicate a phrase, share a phrase with you. And just take your time. And I'm going to begin by giving you an example. Inhale, love. Hold. Exhale, anger. Inhale, love. Exhale, fear. So now let us begin together. Inhale, love. Hold it. Exhale, anger. Inhale, love. Hold it. Exhale, fear. Inhale, love. Exhale, annoyance. Inhale, love. Hold it. Exhale, disgust. Inhale, love. Hold it. Exhale, frustration. Inhale, love. Hold it. Exhale, challenging. Inhale, love. Hold it. Exhale, disruption. Inhale, love. Hold it. Exhale, disruption. Inhale, love. Hold it. Exhale, tension. Inhale, love. Hold it. Exhale, untruths. Inhale, love. Hold it. Exhale. I'm going to invite you to inhale and just simply exhale as I repeat these phrases. Inhale, love. Inhale, harmony. Inhale, unity. Inhale, acceptance. Inhale, compassion. Inhale, acceptance. Inhale, chin, just focusing on your breath. And I invite you to sense, to feel, to see, to hear what love is as you. Now let's just embrace the silence. Allow it to wrap and enfold you. I invite you to come back into this moment, to be present in this moment by simply wiggling your fingers, tapping your feet, taking a deep breath, giving yourself a good stretch. And now I'm going to ask you to close your eyes once again. And we're going to move into our affirmations. And I ask you to close your eyes to just really block out all stimuli and just really embrace the affirmations. And then I will invite you to repeat them after me. So let us first just embrace them. I am choosing love. I am expressing love. I am love in action. All there is love. And now I invite you to repeat after me. I am choosing love.
I am choosing love.
All right, let's raise that energy a little bit more. I am expressing love.
I am expressing love.
I am love in action.
I am love in action.
All there is love.
Is love.
All right, thank you so much. Very nice. And now we have something special from our music director, Donnie Lee.
I am choosing love. I'm expressing love. I am love in action. All there is love. Help me say, I am choosing love. I'm expressing love. more time. I am choosing love. I am expressing love. I am love in action. All there is love.
Thank you very much for that. It was very lovely. Didn't you feel that? And love can be expressed in many, many ways. And so we have the opportunity to express love as giving. And so I'm going to share with you the many ways that we can give. We have quite a few. One is through our website, cslsn.org. cslsn.org. And then just press the donate button. Or you can text Tithe, and that number is 702-666-0541. 702-666-0541. And then we have Cash App, $CSLSN, all capitals, $CSLSN. And then we have Zelle. And we have two different ways you can access our Zelle. Center for Spiritual Living, SO, S-O, Inc., I-N-C, period. Center for Spiritual Living, SO, Inc., or info@cslsn.org. info@cslsn.org. And then you can use the good old snail mail. And that would be P.O. Box 50435 Henderson, Nevada, 89016. And you can just address it to CSLSN, P.O. Box 50435 Henderson, Nevada, 89016. All right. And now we will have a musical interlude by Donnie Lee while you prepare your giving.
Feels good. So let's take a moment to just be grateful and thankful and bless your offerings, your gifts. As we stated in our affirmation, all is love. And knowing that all is God, we know that your offerings is that love, that God in perfect action. We thank you. We thank the universe for always showing up and providing exactly what we need in the moment for the best and the highest good of all. We bless the offerings so that it continues to help us teach the love, teach the principles, live the love, and change the world. And as you give to the center, we also give to others in our community. So it just continues to allow that perfect giving and receiving, the law of giving and receiving to take place. And the more that we give, the more that we get to give. How grateful we are for all of that. And knowing that we are blessed as we give. There is a never-ending cycle. We recognize that perfection in this moment. We give great thanks, and so it is. Awesome. And before I do some recognitions, I do want to make a statement, being that this weekend is Memorial Day weekend. So we do want to, as a center of love, acknowledge and thank and bless all those that have served in one capacity or another and given your life, our family members, our loved ones, to allow us to be able to be here and do this in this freedom. Is there anybody present that is a veteran? No one here yet? Okay. Well, stand up, please, and be noticed. Yes. Thank you, Ron. And those of you at home, thank you. We appreciate you. We love you. And also at the same time, we want to recognize that, it's very easy to speak of love, and sometimes we can go home right now and turn on the TV, and it's difficult sometimes to see that love in action. Our hearts, our prayers go out with those from Buffalo, New York, those from Uvalde, Texas, and I know that those unfortunately aren't the only ones. And this is why this philosophy is so important. So we hold all those, the victims, the friends, the families, the loved ones in our hearts, and just I'm going to ask for a few moments of silence. Thank you. Okay, so we do want to recognize the people that helped to make this happen. First and foremost, our musical director, Donnie Lee. Thank you. We want to thank Todd and Steve in the back and Yvonne for our technical crew that allows you at home to see our beautiful faces. We want to thank the CSLSN spiritual leadership, which is all of us. We want to thank you for being here in person and you for attending online. And also, last but not least, thank the Center for Spiritual Living, or let's say that, so the Las Vegas Center for Spiritual Living, which shares their home with us to make this happen. So a wonderful blessing, and thank you. And now we are ready for our closing affirmative prayer with the elder practitioner one.
We'll have a conversation about that, elders. So let's take 3 deep cleansing breaths. And as we do, we turn our attention to the fact that God is all there is. God is in this place as love, wisdom, divine intelligence, coming together in just the Spirit. And as a perfection, this love, this wisdom, this intelligence, this life is my life. And as I know that to be true for me, I know that it is true for each and every person who hears my voice right here and beyond. So I give thanks for all that's transpired this evening, for the opportunity to share our experiences, for the opportunity of coming together and just getting to know one another at a deeper and a more profound level. And it's with a deep sense of thanksgiving I say, thank you, thank you, thank you. And together we seal this evening by saying, and so it is.
I am choosing love. I'm expressing love. I am love in action. All there is love. I am choosing love. I'm expressing love. I am love in action. All there is love. I am love in action. All there is love.
Thank you, everybody.
Everybody say blessed, 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 blessed. Lift your voice like you mean it. Say blessed, 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 blessed. Say blessed, 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 blessed. Say blessed, blessed, blessed. Oh, we're blessed. Say we're blessed in the city. We're blessed in the field. We're blessed when we come and when we go.
Well, for me, Foundations has solidified a lot of the beliefs that I believed that I had in the beginning. it has confirmed for me or been a confirmation of the Spirit for me.
We're blessed when we come and when we go. We cast out broken sickness and poverty, for the truth has been revealed. Oh, we are blessed. Say blessed, 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 blessed. Say blessed, blessed, blessed. If you feel it, say blessed, blessed, blessed. Say blessed, blessed, blessed. Say blessed, blessed, blessed. Oh, listen, say I'm blessed, and I know it, I'm not afraid to show it. Say oh, 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 oh. Sing it again. I'm blessed, and I know it, I'm not afraid to show it. Say oh, 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 oh. We're blessed, sing. We're blessed in the city. We're blessed.
The foundations class gave me a basis of understanding my own inner strength and spirituality to get through some very rough times in my life right now.
It has helped me to heal. It has helped me to have gratitude for the things I already have. It has helped me with forgiveness. And it's helped me to be open to giving and receiving love.